ensure that I don't build too much muscle? How do I prevent myself from being a muscle man? So the reason why she's asking this is because she's on my program, Union of Strength. She's learning how to do weight training. She is learning how to gain strength, how to build muscle, and but she is a lady, so understandably, she doesn't want to build too much mass. Otherwise, she would be bulky. So she will have a little bit of concern about that. And also another reason why she's concerned is because my program is very effective for beginners. It just takes a couple of minutes a week to start seeing results. And however, once someone reaches intermediate level, they could see results even just by doing 2 hours, maybe a week maximum. So she's asking this question because she's getting concerned. So here's my answer to it. First of all, we need to define what is too much muscle. And as a trainee, as a person who's going to the gym, who's working out, who's training, doing physical training, we must define for ourselves what is too much muscle. Because what is too much muscle for me may not be too much muscle for you, and vice versa. So what I generally help people to define, how I help people to define is simply this. You just need to press your arm, okay? Now, when you press your arm, I want you to understand one thing, yeah? Whatever that is not solid is fat. So you might be, well, but my muscles are lembek. No. Not like that. Whatever that is not solid, when you squeeze, that would be fat. So we need to ask ourselves one question. If I remove my fat, would I be happy with the size of my arm? Would I be happy with the size of my legs? Would I be happy with the size of my butt, my waist? Because a lot of times people say, oh, resistance training gets me bulky. But truth of the matter is like this. If you remove the reason why someone becomes bulkier after they lift some weights is because they eat more after they lift some weights. So they get more, they gain some kilos in the form of fat. So that increases the size. So if you manage your nutrition well, and if you continuously do resistance training while managing your nutrition well, you should be losing fat mass while building muscle, or at the very least maintain the muscle while you burn fat. All right, so let's put that to rest. Right, number one. So basically my point number one is this: most people are a very long way away from building too much muscle. Very long way away. Very, very, very long way away. So don't worry. Number two, women build muscle generally a lot slower than men. So just because women don't have as much testosterone as men, however much testosterone, which is the muscle building hormone that men has, women have a lot more estrogen, which is the counter. Yeah, Jingjing said so easy, man. You know, it's not easy to build muscle. God damn it! I want to build muscle, but unfortunately, there's been a lot of misconception. So I'm helping to clear that up a little bit. So pursuant to point number two, it takes a long time, right? So it's very simple. Go to the mirror and you press here, you press here, you press here, you press here, and you ask yourself, okay, do I have enough muscle now? So if you have enough muscle, then just stop building muscle. If you don't have enough muscle, then continue building muscle, because you would want more metabolic rate, right? You want more metabolism, right? Yes or yes. The more metabolism you have, the better, the easier it is for you to maintain, you manage your weight as you age. Yes, Jingjing, I do few year now only see a bit, yeah. Yes. The reason why she's so concerned, this new concern, is because she's using my program. So it's not the difference is very easy to see results. And someone like myself, unless you train using this program unless you train like 6 days a week, 7 days a week. It will work. So that's why she's a little bit concerned. So coming back to this point, so point number one is you must define for yourself what is too much muscle for you. Point number two is, because muscle building is slow, you just look at the mirror and you press, and you can gauge for yourself whether you are approaching where your ideal muscle mass is. If you feel that you have reached the ideal muscle mass, here's now point number three. You just maintain whatever weight that you're using. Okay, simple as that. Whatever weight, whatever reps, you just maintain. Don't increase intensity, because muscle building increases with increased intensity in your training. So if, let's say, previously you've been using 20 kilo for 8 repetition, and you continue to use 20 kilo for 8 repetition, it doesn't matter if you do it for the next 10 years, you're not going to build any more muscle. You're just going to maintain whatever amount of muscle mass that you have. So that will be one way of managing how to maintain muscle mass rather than growing muscle mass. The other, if you want to kill muscle mass, it's very easy. Just go and trade everything for cardio. You will definitely kill all your muscle. Whatever muscle that you build during strength training, if you just go and trade all of that, trade all of those stuff for cardio nonstop, then for sure. So if you're worried that, okay, I have too much muscle now, first off, I envy you. Second off, like, now that you know, you can go and safely go and cardio away all of your muscle mass. Now, the other way to maintain muscle mass is actually simply to switch from hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is a technical term for muscle building. You can just switch from hypertrophy to to strength training. So the program that was prescribed to you was 60 to 90 seconds, super slow repetition. Maintain the tension for between 60 to 90 seconds. If you want to build strength without building muscle, it's very simple. Make sure all of your sets go below 60 seconds. The muscle building process will significantly slow down. It will significantly slow down because you are building what certain coaches would call sarcoplasmic muscle fibers, and sarcoplasmic muscle fibers are a lot more dense. That's a simple way to put it. Anyhow, it's a lot more dense, but it will create a lot more strength. So you can be slim, but very, very strong. So you can do that as well. Otherwise, you use one of those. Once you reach the desirable muscle mass, all you got to do is just make sure you use lightweight and you just go all out and go into endurance training. Go do your super high repetition exercises where you get completely and utterly exhausted. That is also one way of doing it. However, I do not recommend it, because most women who complain that they have more muscle, they got more bulkier, tend to utilize low weight, high rep. Because when you do that, it depends on what is the exercise. If you're doing things like thrusters, then it just become cardio. If you do things like bicep curl, you are gonna get a lot of pump, which will in turn build muscle mass, at least temporarily. So you will feel more bulkier than normal. So hope that clears things up. Let me just recap. Number one, understand for yourself what is too much muscle for you, what is enough muscle, what is not enough muscle, what is too much. Number two, it takes a very long time to reach desirable muscle mass. Even me working out for so long, I still haven't reached it. Not to mention there's all kinds of stuff that is happening on a day-to-day basis that will prevent us from getting adequate training. So it takes a long time to reach there. So every now and again, just look at yourself in the mirror and check whether press here, press there, and see whether or not you have reached enough muscle. If it is enough muscle, then just stop building the muscle. And you stop building the muscle by either maintaining the weight no matter how easy the exercise feels, or number two, you go and make sure you hit very high loads with very, very low durations, less than 60 seconds. So we're talking about like a few sets of 3 repetition, 5 repetition, nothing much at all. Or you go and do very lightweight, super high reps that will also maintain, but we got to manage that because the women do have a tendency to build muscle even with that as well. So because of the pump, it's not really building muscle, it's just blood pumping in. So my preferred one would be number one, just maintain the weight. Don't try to add on, don't try to increase rep, don't try to do anything. Just make sure maintain the weight, maintain the reps as much as possible. And number 3, if you accidentally find yourself too much muscle, oh my God, too much muscle, what do? Very simple. Go and turn in all of your muscle building programs and just trade it all for cardio. For sure, you will lose all of the muscle mass very, very fast. So with that being said, hope that answers the question, and I shall see you guys tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. with hopefully a different question which I can answer. If you guys have any questions about mental health, fitness, strength training, muscle building, weight loss, dieting, exercise, whatever along those lines, you can just shoot it in a comment, and I will be sure to answer it in the next episode. Until then, tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. Don't miss. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, stay true to yourself, and I shall see you guys very, very soon.